the historic borough of Montgomery. That's our postcard today from the county of Montgomeryshire. Tell us about that town hall. Tell us about Montgomery, Brian.
Well, you're looking at the town hall, which, according to the date on the piece behind us, is about 220 years old. Georgian building replaced an old black and white building on stilts that we think used to be at the other end of the street. And when they built, or when the town fathers built that, they thought it was so nice that they all decided to do the same thing to their own houses. So if you look around the broad street, you'll see Georgian, pseudo-Georgian fronts all the way around the corners and all the way down. It was a time of great financial success in Montgomery, because it was the county town, the main market area. Powis Estates were obviously a very wealthy family and brought a lot of wealth into the area. So the town from then onwards changed from what it was before, a town of low-lying cottages, into a city, as it were, a very mini city, but a city. And that's what we've had, and we've now, although we've lost all our status as far as the government is concerned, we still have, the trappings of a big town squeezed in a tiny little spot.
Just behind us, up there, there's a coat of arms and a sort of a...
Yes.
Well, what is it, actually?
Well, it's a Powis, the coat of arms that we think of Powis, but behind it is a little reservoir, which is now full of chip-ins, because we've now got our modern water system in Montgomery, as most people. We all come off the Severn water from Llandinam. And behind it is the House of Correction, which you can just see, where the last person who was hanged in Montgomery was hanged, just behind there. He's buried in the church in what is known as the robber's grave. And when he was sentenced, he said, "When you bury me," I'm not sure the exact wording, that no grass will grow in my grave for 100 years. And apparently it hasn't. Now that's over 100 years ago, and the grave is now virtually covered over with grass, but it's still got a little bare bit in the middle.
Now, you may have noticed a transformation, because although it's not very far from Montgomery town to Montgomery Castle, it's dropped in temperature, hasn't it, Brian?
Very cold up here.
So we've got hats and coats, and we look a little bit different, but our enthusiasm for this place has not waned. Indeed, coming up here, the views from here. And what bits can we see round here? Is this like the inner...
Oh, this is the inner
heart.
keep, that's right.
Yeah.
There's a huge fireplace just behind you. Next to that, the castle well, because when the Welsh attacked, the people from the town, they all came up and brought their cattle and everything else into the outer keep, and the important people came into the inner keep. And so that it was then saved. The town may have got burnt down once or twice, but they actually, by coming up here and having that, there was enough water in there to keep 1,000 people going for 3 months.
Why was this place destroyed then? Why is it not like, say, a Ludlow Castle or Conwy or Carnarvon?
Well, unlike Welshpool Castle, Powis Castle, which is in very good nick indeed, original condition, I suppose, is this one was considered to be too dangerous to leave in good order by the in the Civil War.
Right.
Right.
Because Charles I held this, didn't he?
It was a
royalist
castle.
So the parliamentarians came after it.
Down with it. Even though they'd actually taken it because the royalists surrendered, they said that doesn't matter. It's too dangerous to leave as a castle, so it was blown up.
Because it's a pretty good point to build a castle, isn't it, up here?
You can see for miles and miles.